Hey everyone, we've got another review mash for you.
Oh, yeah.
This time we're
Going fast.
hitting supersonic speeds,
Yes, we are.
diving headfirst into the world of Sonic the Hedgehog.
The blue blur.
And what better way to celebrate than with this new release,
All right.
Sonic X Shadow Generations.
Sonic X Shadow Generations, talk about a nostalgia overload.
Right.
Just hearing that name
Oh man,
takes me right back to being a kid.
it takes me back.
Yeah. Remember those sleepovers we'd have?
Oh yeah.
We'd spend hours glued to the TV.
Oh, battling it out for bragging rights.
Battling it out, Sonic and Knuckles.
Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh, man.
Those were the days.
Good times, good times.
Good times. And you know what?
What?
It's not just us. This new release,
Yeah.
coinciding with the excitement
Hype it?
for the third Sonic movie featuring Shadow,
Yes.
proves that the love for Sonic transcends generations.
It transcends, it really does.
It does.
Everyone's got a Sonic story. But what makes this particular release, Sonic X Shadow Generations, so special?
Yeah.
Well, we sifted through a mountain of reviews. We're talking Level Up, CG Magazine, the whole gang, to figure out what makes this game more than just a nostalgia cash-in.
All right, so set the stage for it.
Okay.
Why are we taking a trip back to Sonic Generations in the first place?
Well, you see, Sonic's 3D outings have had a bit of a, shall we say, mixed track record over the years.
Okay.
But back in 2011, Sonic Generations emerged as a beacon of hope for fans.
It really did. It felt like a love letter to the fans, a celebration of everything we loved about Sonic, from the classic 2D pixel art to the more modern 3D adventures.
Precisely, and Sonic X Shadow Generations builds upon that foundation, taking the best of Generations and adding a whole new layer of excitement with, you guessed it,
Oh, here we go.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow, okay, I gotta admit, I was a little skeptical when I first heard about Shadow getting his own campaign, don't get me wrong. I love the edgy anti-hero thing he's got going on, but could they really pull it off?
The review suggests they did, and then some. You might be surprised to hear that many reviewers actually found Shadow's campaign to be the highlight,
Really?
even eclipsing the original Generations content.
Wow, now that's what I call a plot twist.
Right.
So what makes Shadow Generation so special? Spill the beans.
Okay, picture this. You're not just replaying old levels as Shadow.
Like,
You're experiencing a completely new storyline.
all right.
Woven seamlessly into the fabric of Sonic Generations.
Okay.
It's like they took everything fans loved about Shadow, the attitude, the powers, the whole mysterious backstory,
Yeah.
and crafted an experience tailor-made for him.
Speaking of backstory, I'm sure not everyone listening grew up with Shadow. I mean, he kind of burst onto the scene in Sonic Adventure 2, rocking that black and red like a true rebel.
Right.
Did they assume players already knew his deal, or did they fill in the blanks for the newcomers?
Don't worry, they didn't leave anyone in the dark. One of the things that impressed reviewers was how Shadow Generations incorporates a concise yet impactful recap of Shadow's origins. It's like a mini-movie that catches everyone up to speed without feeling like a clunky exposition dump.
Smart move. So we've got nostalgia, we've got Shadow. What else did they pack into this anniversary celebration?
Let's talk about the levels themselves. These aren't just simple HD makeovers, you understand? Imagine taking your favorite childhood Sonic level, like the iconic Green Hill Zone,
Oh my God.
rebuilding it from the ground up
Green Hill Zone.
with modern technology.
Those palm trees swaying in the breeze.
Yes.
The checkered hills.
Yes.
The loop-de-loops.
All of...
Pure nostalgia fuel.
That's right.
Did they bring back any other classic zone?
They did, and that's where the real magic happens. Shadow Generations cherry-picks iconic levels spanning the entire Sonic franchise. We're talking Chemical Plant Zone,
Okay.
City Escape, even the often overlooked Radical Highway.
Whoa.
It's a fresh coat of paint.
I bet seeing those classic stages reimagined in all their glory is a real trip, especially for longtime fans. It's like revisiting your childhood home after a major renovation. Familiar yet breathtakingly new.
Exactly. And these reimagined levels aren't just a visual treat. They also change how you'll experience both Sonic and Shadow's unique gameplay styles. You know, it's fascinating how they've approached the gameplay here.
Yeah.
With Sonic, you've got that classic blend of 2D and 3D platforming that Generations nailed so well.
Right.
It's all about momentum, speed, and chaining together those satisfying combos.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like nailing a perfect boost through a loop-de-loop as modern Sonic, or that satisfying spin attack as classic Sonic.
Right.
It's pure adrenaline.
But then you switch to Shadow and it's a whole different ballgame.
Oh, really?
The reviewers were quick to point out that Shadow Generations really leans into his unique abilities, making
Yeah.
him feel distinct from Sonic.
Okay, color me intrigued. How so? I mean, we know Shadow's got that chaos control thing going on, but how does that actually translate into gameplay?
Imagine this.
Okay.
You're facing off against a horde of enemies. Things are getting a little too heated.
Yeah.
Suddenly, time slows to a crawl as you activate chaos control, giving you precious seconds to strategize and unleash a devastating counterattack.
Whoa, so it's not just about speed with Shadow.
No.
It's about tactical thinking, too.
See, exactly.
Oh, interesting.
And then there are the Doom powers.
Oh,
Reviewers were raving about how these abilities add a whole new dimension to combat. Imagine Shadow
yeah.
channeling a bit of Dante from Devil May Cry,
Okay.
using demonic energy to unleash fiery projectiles or transform into a shadowy doppelganger to outmaneuver enemies.
Okay, that sounds ridiculously cool.
Oh, yeah.
They really went all out with Shadow, did they?
They did. It's like they took all the feedback from previous games and poured it into Shadow Generations.
Yeah.
The result, a gameplay experience that feels both familiar and refreshingly new, even for seasoned Sonic veterans.
Wow, speaking of new, one thing that caught my eye in the reviews was Shadow's hub world. Apparently, they've taken some cues from Sonic Frontiers in its open-world design.
That's right. While not a sprawling open world like Frontiers,
Okay.
Shadow's White Space offers a more focused, almost contemplative take on exploration. Imagine a series of interconnected levels,
Okay.
each with its own unique theme and challenges, all tied together by this ethereal, almost dreamlike hub.
Okay. That sounds like a nice change of pace.
Yeah,
Sometimes too much open world can be overwhelming. It's all about finding that right balance, wouldn't you say?
absolutely. And that seems to be the recurring theme with Sonic X Shadow Generations.
Yeah.
Finding that sweet spot between nostalgia and innovation.
Right.
Familiarity and surprise.
Well, it wouldn't be a Sonic game without a few surprises, and I'm talking about those classic Sonic quirks.
Oh,
The occasional glitchy physics, the camera angles that leave you wondering which way is up. Did the reviewers encounter any of that?
There were a few mentions here and there. One reviewer likened it to that familiar, slightly janky charm that's become synonymous with 3D Sonic games.
It's like a rite of passage, isn't it? You know, you're in for a wild ride when the camera decides to take a vacation.
It really is, yeah.
But hey, it's all part of the experience, right?
Indeed, and despite these minor hiccups, the overall consensus is that Sonic X Shadow Generations is a blast to play. It's challenging when it needs to be, rewarding exploration.
Yeah,
And most importantly, it's just plain fun.
music to my ears. But it's not just about the levels and the gameplay, right? Sonic games have always been packed with extra goodies for dedicated fans. What about this one? Did they skimp on the unlockables or did they go all out?
Oh, they definitely didn't disappoint in that department. Prepare yourself for a treasure trove of unlockable content, from classic soundtracks that'll take you right back to the 90s,
Oh, wow.
to concept art that offers a glimpse behind the scenes of Sonic's creation.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Nothing beats unlocking those secret goodies after hours of gameplay. It's like a badge of honor for true fans.
And let's not forget about the Chow Garden.
Uh-huh.
Remember those adorable little creatures from Sonic Adventure 2?
How could I forget? I
Yeah.
spent countless hours raising those little guys, trying to evolve them into the ultimate Chow champion.
Well, get ready for a serious dose of nostalgia because the Chow Garden is back in Sonic X Shadow Generations.
What?
And it's more robust than ever. We're talking new evolutions, mini-games,
Wow.
and customization options that'll have you hooked for hours.
You're speaking my language. There's just something so satisfying about nurturing those Chow, watching them grow and evolve.
Yeah.
It's the perfect blend of cute and addictive gameplay.
It really is.
Like they knew exactly what buttons to press to get us hyped, right?
Yeah,
They're tapping into that deep well of love we have for these characters in this world.
absolutely, and it seems to be working. You'll find most reviewers agree that this is a solid entry in the franchise.
Yeah.
Consistently scoring around an 8 out of 10, they highlight the way Sonic X Shadow Generations manages to bridge the gap between longtime fans and newcomers, offering something for everyone.
Okay, that's awesome to hear. But let's be real. Sometimes those review scores don't tell the whole story. What are the critics actually saying about the game, beyond the numbers?
One word: potential.
Okay.
Many see Shadow Generations in particular as a glimpse into the future of 3D Sonic games. The refined level design,
Yeah.
the focus on Shadow's unique abilities,
Right?
even that taste of open-world exploration.
Right.
It's got people thinking this could be a turning point for the franchise.
I like the sound of that. It's no secret that Sonic has had his ups and downs in the 3D world. But this feels different, like they're finally listening to what the fans want and pushing the boundaries in all the right ways.
Right. And what's exciting is that it doesn't feel like a complete overhaul.
Yeah.
It's more like They've taken the core elements that make Sonic so iconic, the speed, the attitude, the sense of adventure,
Yeah.
and polished them to a shine.
So, bottom line,
Yeah.
should our listeners be adding Sonic X Shadow Generations to their gaming library?
If you have even a shred of nostalgia for the Blue Blur, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a love letter to the franchise, a celebration of its legacy, and a promising look at its future.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It sounds like Sonic X Shadow Generations is more than just a nostalgic trip. It's a reminder of why we fell in love with this franchise in the first place and why it continues to capture our imaginations all these years later. Thanks for joining us on this supersonic journey through the world of Sonic the Hedgehog. Until next time, game on.